welcome back and welcome to Vlogmas Day 7. I wanted to do a book talk for you today because I just finished reading a Christmassy, wintry read and I thought that would be perfect to share during Vlogmas. So the book that I just finished, you'll have heard me talk about in my TBR and in my November wrap up because I read most of it in November, is, let's get this right, A Year and a Day by Isabelle Broom. I don't have a physical copy of the book, so I'm having to show you the picture. I can't quite get it. The trouble is my iPad's like well cracked. A Year and a Day by Isabelle Broom. Basically this book it's set in Prague, which is very exciting because I've never been to Prague and I don't know an awful lot about it, so it was exciting to kind of visit it in the form of a book. The description of the city is just amazing. I could picture where the hotel was, where all the sort of famous landmarks were, what the weather was like, what the atmosphere was like, what the people were like, what the tourists were like, what the locals were like. The description is just so fantastic in this book. It's worth reading it even just for the description. But the story is also great too, so definitely worth a read for the story. The story centres around three different people or sets of people, three different sets of characters. So we've got Megan and Ollie as one set of character, we've got Sophie as another sort of story that we follow, and we've got Hope as another story we follow. And basically they're all in Prague for very different reasons, but they all end up staying in the same hotel, and so they end up meeting each other, and so their stories are slightly intertwined, but they've very much got their own thing going on at the same time. I found myself kind of identifying with Megan and Ollie's story. Ollie's a school teacher, which helps, and wears glasses. But I really liked their story and the reason that they were in Prague and the kind of transformation that takes place whilst they're in Prague for both of them individually. All three character storylines involve a lot of transformation and in very different ways, but I think the kind of fourth character of Prague really helps with that transformation, and the transformations wouldn't have been the same had it not been for Prague. I don't think their transformations rely on having met each other. I think the fact that their transformations are taking place would have taken place regardless of whether Sophie had met Megan and Ollie or Hope had met Sophie or all the other possible combinations. Hope's story is a very transformational one and is kind of different from what you might be expecting, and then Sophie's got a lot of mystery surrounding her. A lot of her sort of story and transformation is told through kind of the way she feels and the way she perceives things rather than what she does and what happens to her. I found Sophie's story the most compelling, and I actually finished this book at just after 3 AM last night because I had got to 70% and needed to pick it up again, and did so before bed last night, which in hindsight was a bit of a mistake, but I was basically kind of holding my breath to find out what was going to happen with Sophie and how the other characters were going to finish their evolution and their transformation. It's set at winter. You can tell that from the front cover of the book that it's set in winter, but it's not a Christmas read, but it's a very good book to read at this time of year, and it feels like one of those kind of classic books that you would read at this time of year. The characters are so well developed, the setting is so well developed, and the stories kind of run along parallel with each other, sometimes crisscrossing and sometimes intertwining, so you can tell it's been so beautifully written. And for me, this has the real feel of a kind of classic book of this genre. I so enjoyed it. I so recommend picking it up. I haven't read Isabelle Broom's previous writing, but I'm definitely going to be looking out for what's coming from her next year, because I already know she's got one coming out at the beginning of next year, so I'm very excited about that. Okay, I will have another video for you tomorrow. I hope you're having a great day. Bye.